Have you ever wondered what it must have felt like to leave everything behind in a single moment? To drop your work, your security, daily life and walk into the unknown. To give up everything for something bigger than yourself. This is the story of how the very first disciples of Jesus were called the Sea of Galilee. The sun was just beginning to rise over the horizon, painting the waters in gold. The air smelled of salt and fresh fish. Fishermen worked tirelessly, throwing their heavy nets into the water and pulling them back again, only to find them empty. Among them were two brothers seamen, also known as Peter and Andrew. They had been fishing all night, but their efforts were fruitless. Their faces were weary, their hands rough, their hearts heavy. For them, this was not just work, it was survival. And then a figure appeared on the shoreline. Jesus. He had already begun to preach in nearby towns, speaking words that pierced the heart and healed the soul. His reputation was spreading. Crowds had started to gather around him, eager to hear his teaching. But on this day, his eyes were set on these two fishermen. He called out to them with a voice that carried both authority and compassion. "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." The brothers froze. Fishers of men. What did that even mean? And yet, something stirred deep within them, something they couldn't explain. In that moment, their nets no longer mattered. The fish no longer mattered. They left everything and followed him. But the story does not end there. A little further down the shore, Jesus saw two more brothers, James and John, sons of Zebedee. They were in a boat with their father, mending their nets. Their family business, their livelihood, their future. And yet, when Jesus called them, they, too, immediately left their boat, their nets, even their father, just to follow him. Imagine the scene. Four men, ordinary fishermen, uneducated, unknown, leaving everything behind for a teacher they had only just begun to know. They did not ask for details. They did not demand proof. They simply obeyed. Why? Because his words carried a power they had never heard before. Because his presence was unlike anything they had ever experienced. Because in that single moment, they knew their lives were about to change forever. From that day on, these four fishermen became the foundation of something greater than they could have ever imagined. Simon Peter, Andrew, James, and John, the first disciples, would walk beside Jesus, hear his teachings, witness his miracles, and eventually carry his message to the ends of the earth. Their decision to follow him was not easy. It meant sacrifice, uncertainty, and even danger. But it was also the beginning of purpose, hope, and eternal truth. The calling of the first disciples reminds us of something powerful even today. That Jesus does not call the strongest, the richest, or the most educated first. He calls the willing. He does not ask us to bring perfection. He simply asks us to trust him. And sometimes, the greatest journeys begin not with a plan, but with a simple step of faith. So ask yourself, if you heard that same voice calling you today, would you drop your nets? Would you leave everything to follow him? Remember, it's not about who you are, but who is calling you. It's not about what you can do, but what he can do in you. Are you willing to step into the adventure God has planned for you? Are you willing to become a fisher of men? If your answer is yes, then don't wait any longer. Begin your journey today. Take that first step. Trust in his voice. Let him guide you. You may not know where the path will lead, but you can be sure that with him by your side, you will never walk alone.